What if this was never just about drama, but about a pattern that keeps repeating? Every few years, the same names come back, the same arguments resurface, and it feels like we're watching the same story play out again in a slightly different form. She left the internet, stepped away after the breakdown era, got married, changed her name, leaned fully into religion, and for a while, it genuinely looked like a redemption arc. The chaos quieted down. The uploads slowed.
T-Spill, Spill Sesh, Angelica Oles, Dustin Daly, The Viewer's Voice, Smoky Glow, Ready to Glare, like whoever else, like all these channels that like, see, I'm spiraling. What are we even talking about?
And she seemed grounded and focused on faith, art, and a new life outside of the spotlight. Then the shift happened. The content slowly moved from strictly religious messages into commentary about well-known public figures. The algorithm responded, the views went up, and old audiences started rediscovering her. When that happens, the internet memory kicks in. New viewers see the present version, but longtime viewers remember the past, and those two versions collide in the comment section.
Seems like Gabby Hanna is starting to show signs of psychosis again. Are you good, girl? Because first of all, what in the mental health is wrong with you to take a selfie of yourself with a pout face and then like talk about somebody's mental health on top of it? And like say I'm experiencing some type of psychosis. You know why you did it though? 116,000 likes. That's why. I just wanted you to know, and everybody else who saw this post to know, and anybody who's seeing this post to know, this is weird behavior.
That is when the old narratives begin to breathe again. People started bringing up the breakdown, the controversies, and the idea of the so-called canceled influencer to Christian pipeline. Some viewers questioned whether the change was real. Others speculated about her mental state. Instead of ignoring it, she addressed it.
Comment popped into my head that I see every once in a while. It's like, what is this canceled creator to Christian pipeline? Okay, if somebody goes through something crazy, especially publicly, you see that they're struggling, you see they're going down a dark path, and then they come back. They're happy, they're thriving, and they're with Jesus. You see people go through the absolute worst and come back glowing, and they say it's Jesus. Believe them, it's evidence. It's literally data. Time and time again, people come back healed with Jesus.
And that is where the pattern becomes clear. When identity feels questioned publicly, most people defend it. She reopened the Trisha situation, re-uploaded old podcasts, and reframed the story as psychological abuse and gaslighting. She said she could not move forward without addressing it again. People started bringing up the breakdown, the controversies, and the idea of the so-called canceled influencer to Christian pipeline. Some viewers questioned whether the change was real. Others speculated about her mental state. Instead of ignoring it, she addressed it. And that is where the pattern becomes clear. When identity feels questioned publicly, most people defend it.
I feel like I can't do anything unless I address this massive elephant in every single room I walk into, where I'm a human being, just like an adult, right? Like trying to live life, trying to function in society, volunteer, serve churches and communities, and I'm literally being rejected, and you being married to me, like being rejected from service opportunities and volunteer opportunities, and just like being literally just triggered every day by comment sections, by, I go live, all of the live chat, just content that I get served, being Gabby Hanna, about Gabby Hanna and her mental issues and her psychosis, and all my comments, like when I first started posting it a couple weeks ago, all positive, like finding a cool, some of my old fans, some new people who are just finding me, and it's just all positive. I love what you're saying, love what you're doing, and then I'm posting, I'm getting some viral videos, which literally triggers everyone on the internet. Oh wait, Gabby's like going viral again, so now I can go viral by being hateful towards her. So I'm just scrolling, and then I see pictures or videos and pictures with hundreds of thousands of likes, millions of views that literally just say nothing except for hateful things.
She reopened the Trisha situation, re-uploaded old podcasts, and reframed the story as psychological abuse and gaslighting. She said she could not move forward without addressing it again. But the internet does not hand narrative control back so easily. Some people agreed with her. Others felt like nothing new was being revealed. The original conflict about the STD gossip resurfaced, and that situation has always been morally divided. One side framed it as warning a friend. The other framed it as spreading private health information based on gossip. When conflict becomes moral, it rarely resolves, because both sides believe they were justified.
Everybody involved, anybody that we're going to talk about in this podcast, in these podcasts that we're going to end up doing together, we're all at much different places in our lives. You know what I mean? And we can recognize that. But because of the psychological damage and trauma that happened in your life, this is still something that follows you to this very day.
Right.
These comments are still present to this very day. So I just want to recenter the focus on that's why we're talking about how are you not the victim in this, when churches are even like excluding you from doing.
Religion added another layer. Gossip became sin. Critics became spiritually lost. Forgiveness was expressed publicly, but so were lists of names and renewed accusations. To some viewers, that felt compassionate. To others, it felt like escalation wrapped in prayer. When someone says they have forgiven everyone but continues addressing them repeatedly, the audience senses unresolved tension. Repetition keeps the energy alive.
For that, I was like, don't know anything about her, but
I was just, I guess, confused by was like the idea that like we had never spoken and like I invited myself to your party where like that was another feeling where like, I went back and like looked at the messages to make sure I wasn't crazy. But, like,
Yeah.
we talked a lot and like I didn't even like ask you about the party. You just sent me the invite. Like if you
Okay.
look at the text, like what the last thing I send you is something about like a snack.
Right.
And then like you text me and you're like, come to my party because we were like friends. Like
Yeah.
we talked about relationships. Like you told me to one time for like Thanksgiving. You asked me to like hang out. Like I thought and like maybe I'm just being delusional.
Wait,
but
for
I'm, like,
Thanksgiving?
I'm like maybe I like read too much into it, but like we talked quite a bit.
because
for
I like,
years.
yeah, okay. I don't know, maybe I was unhappy. Remember, because like
Yeah.
I'm very boyfriend oriented. I don't hang out with friends, especially like girls I want to more. I like hanging out with girls, but they like burned me in the past, like especially YouTube girls.
There is also the humiliation factor. Public humiliation does not fade quietly. When your lowest moments become memes, your brain does not categorize them as old news. It categorizes them as threat.
And all I want is peace and love. But I also want truth. And the truth is this all started with Trisha Paytas. And I just need to say it all out so that there's an account and a record of my side. Because I've tried to defend myself before, and I spent so many hours, days, weeks, literally going back in phones and hard drives from years and years ago to prove that what I was saying was true and what was being said about me was blatant defamation and slander, and not that many people cared.
So when you start going viral again, even in a positive way, you anticipate backlash before it happens. You defend preemptively, and that defense becomes the next headline. Meanwhile, the people involved have moved in different directions. Some have rebuilt their careers. Some have stayed silent. When one person appears to receive public redemption while another still feels defined by past controversy, that comparison can reopen wounds. That does not automatically mean jealousy, but comparison is human. Recovery feels uneven when viewed side by side. The pattern itself is consistent. Conflict, backlash, defense, moral reframing, expanded list of critics, emotional escalation, silence, then resurgence. And the cycle restarts. Some viewers believe this is strategic engagement. Others believe it is unresolved trauma. Others think it is simply how the algorithm works. The truth is likely somewhere in between.
Gossip is a sin. Slander is a sin.
Right.
This type of behavior, this obsession over money, luxury, idolatry, vanity, wanting to be like the cool kid, wanting to break the story, wanting to have all the hot goss, like this is sinful behavior. And I know a lot of people hear that word sin and like, I'm not Christian, like whatever. This is sinful behavior. This is inhumane behavior. It's honestly, I don't know who needs to hear this. Gossip is loser behavior. Loser.
When do you think the last time, and Trisha, this is speaking good on your behalf, assuming that maybe you're watching this or something.
She's watching.
Yeah. You know, when's the last time that you can like verifiably say that like Trisha said anything negative against you? You know,
I wouldn't say anytime soon. I do want to
Yeah.
give that to her credit.
Right.
I do want to give that.
Because there's been some recent positivity actually,
Right.
and recent comments on your own TikTok.
But I've literally been made a public laughing stock over stuff that is not real. And after that, for multiple years, I finally had a very public mental breakdown, which is extremely embarrassing. And I'm finally able to talk about it because I recognize, here I am saying it again, that I am a victim of psychological abuse. Trisha Paytas, Jessie Smiles, all the drama channels are narcissistic abusers who have slandered me, isolated me, gaslighted me, exploited me, threatened me, and publicly humiliated me for gain, for public drama channels and podcasts, literally their whole life, being this negative, toxic thing. And here I am, genuinely just trying to like make art, try to make money to do good and mind my business, and I still can't.
The only proven way to end an online cycle is mutual silence. But silence feels like surrender when you believe your name has been distorted. So you speak again. You clarify again. You defend again. And every time you do, the internet responds and the cycle gains oxygen. This is why it feels less like drama and more like identity. It is about narrative control, public memory, and the tension between private healing and public perception. The real question may not be who was right years ago. The real question is whether anyone involved can truly let it go now. Because if no one responds this time, the cycle might finally end. And if someone does, we may be right back here again.